Hey everyone, I'm Cora Kira, your ever curious and ever loyal companion and your personal guide to the retro realm of bunnhop. Having taken the international airship from Islud in Rune-Midgarts to Juneau, the capital city of Schwarzwald Republic in our previous quest, we have since developed a strong curiosity about these technological marvels that allow us to travel long distances and get from one point of the Midgard continent to another in a very short amount of time. Although we might not all have been born and raised in the kingdom and may not even be from the Midgard continent, since we all arrived here by ship, we've spent most of our time training in this country, so we've become accustomed to magic teleportation brought to us by our very helpful and undeniably lovely girls from Kafra Incorporated. Both our time spent with the magic practitioners of Rune-Midgarts and our lack of experience with the ins and outs of technology fuel our interest in airships. More precisely on how exactly they function. More practically, some of you might be wondering just how safe these airships are. If they're not as safe, maybe we're better off using magic? Knowing that our journey as adventurers will take us to the farthest reaches of Midgard and we'll be making use of airships quite often, it might be best to make sure we learn more about them. Like with Curse of Gaibog, today's quest requirements are also quite simple. For its level requirement, we have to be base level 60, but when it comes to the item requirements, we have two options. The first path is to farm the two items we need, 2 prickly fruit and 2 will of the darkness. Both can be found from strange creatures, with the former lootable from beholders, beholder masters, watchers, pitayas, and ominous permitters, while the latter can be looted from gremlins, hodremlins, and seekers. The last 3 monsters mentioned are all found in the Holy Ground dungeon of Rachel's Sanctuary, while the first 5 monsters are all in different maps and are much higher level than you if you're doing this at level 60. Your best source of prickly fruits are the level 157 ominous permitters found in the Illusion Dungeon of Abyss Turtle Island. If you'd rather farm them, or if you already have them in your cafe storage, you can skip the waiting part of this rather short quest, although you'll be missing out on some key moments. Personally, I think the best option is the second one, to patiently go through the entire quest and pick up the required items in step 4 of the quest. Once you've decided on which path you'll take, we'll head on over to Islud. We begin today's journey by taking the international airship from this quaint satellite town.
Thank you for choosing Valkyrie Air. Would you like to board the Juneau, Islud, Rachel, shuttle airship? The ship makes stops at Juneau, Islud, and Rachel.
Yes.
The fare is 1,200 zeni. You can use it for free if you have a free airship ticket. Would you like to board the Juneau, Islud, Rachel, shuttle airship?
Yes.
Valkyrie Air appreciates your patronage, and we hope you have another peaceful and pleasant trip. Thank you.
It seems like the airship is staffed by android attendants? How advanced! Upon boarding, we see another android staff standing close to the stairs that lead to the main deck. Let's briefly talk to her. Note that this NPC is not the quest giver. This conversation is just added for immersion.
Thank you for taking Valkyrie Air's Juneau, Islud, Rachel, shuttle airship. We always strive to provide you with safe and enjoyable travel. How may I help you?
We've got 3 options here. First, let's ask her about how we can use the airship.
Every airship of Valkyrie Air announces the ship's destination and route through an in-flight announcement. When the airship stops at your destination, you can use the exit on each side to disembark. Even if you forgot to disembark at your destination, don't worry. This airship travels back and forth between Juneau and Islud, so you can get off the next time.
Where is the captain's cabin?
The captain's cabin is at the forefront of this airship. Captain Furlock and the helmsman who pilots this airship work there. The captain leaves his cabin from time to time. If you have business with him, please leave a message to a crew, and they will deliver it to him later.
What about interior facilities?
Inside your cabin are windows for sightseeing, a lounge where you can rest, and mini games we prepared as recreation.
South of the guide is another exit. Going down the stairs, we see the buffet immediately to our left. Ooh, lots and lots of roasted chicken. There are also windows for sightseeing. And a spacious dining area where a rich-looking guy sits alone. Here's a little girl crying about getting scolded by a deer. And here's the cargo bay with a character we'll meet in a different quest. We also see a swordsman who probably hails from a faraway island. And walking further south, we see the casino area. I guess whoever built the airships loves Komodo a little too much? It seems like apples are the currency for gambling on airships. A little unconventional, but since apples are cheap and easy to find, it makes gambling a tad bit safer. They've got 2 minigames here, a dice game and an RO typing challenge. We walk north and find 2 service droids guarding the stairs down to the lower deck. Don't worry, regardless of what they say, we're free to roam around the deck below. When we go down another flight of stairs, we find heavy artillery? Well, at least they've got ways to keep us passengers safe. More seating is available to the north where passengers can spend time mingling and sightseeing. On this deck, we'll also find the cabins. Not much privacy provided, huh? Well, dips on this bed. Some cabins have dining tables, while others have more beds. Now that we've explored the airship, let's head on back up the top deck and visit the captain. Upon entering his cabin, we see an odd-looking fella. A little immersion break here, this guy's the quest giver. And when we speak to him, he introduces himself.
I'm Fairlock, captain of this airship. You got a problem with me, huh?
A reindeer is the captain? We inquire in a surprised tone. I hope he doesn't get offended.
Reindeer? Ah, human kids. They're insolent. Insolent, I say. I'll throw you out if you keep acting up. My family is from a centuries-old historic noble household. We are on a different level than you humans. Being the captain of this giant airship is a challenging achievement. Traveling across the world on an airship is my joy and life goal.
My personal theory is that Furlock could be from a race related to the Tauruses of Rock Ridge, the global project island inspired by the Wild West era of America. Tauruses are anthropomorphic bulls who could be distant cousins of anthropomorphic reindeers like Furlock. This time, let's ask him, how does an airship operate?
How does an airship operate? Do you think I'd tell that to a complete stranger?
If we decide not to respond by choosing cancel...
I'm busy, so don't talk to me unless you have business.
You know what? Let's pester him once more. Captain Furlock, how does this airship fly?
Feels like someone asked the same question before. Hey, aren't you the one who asked that question? Or are you not curious about it?
Not really.
You dare waste my time with half-hearted questions? Do you want to get thrown out?
But if we say, yes I am.
Well, this is a top secret only allowed to captains, but that's what the higher-ups think. I have a favor to ask of you, so I'll tell you about it if you do that. I think it's a fair deal. What say you?
Nah.
I won't force you. Come back when you're interested.
On second thought, yes.
Straightforward, aren't you? So, about that favor. I have a little brother who travels around in an airship like me. Since we both are constantly traveling, we can't see or contact each other. I wrote a letter to him. Deliver this letter to my brother and get me his reply.
Furlock gave me a letter.
I'll be counting on you.
If we open our quest window by hitting Alt-U on our keyboard, we see this. Furlock says that he wouldn't mind telling you how the airship works if you do him a favor of delivering a letter to his brother Tarlock. If we attempt to bug him again, Captain Furlock, how does an airship operate?
How does an airship operate? You haven't even gotten me my brother's reply. I won't tell you until you do what I told you to do.
Walking westward, we see the pilot of the airship, who is a Norman, the official term for humans in RO, like ourselves. This uniform looks cool, but it's too stuffy. Why can't I work in underwear? No one comes to the captain's cabin anyway. Who are you? It's cloudy today. This kind of weather is not good. The captain is pretty ill-tempered. When he does something, the crews have to take care of the aftermath. I just hope he won't cause any accidents today.
You there! Cut the chit-chat! Work now! Work!
Yes, sir. A quick lore break here. When I originally did this quest back in 2021, the international airship captain was not Fairlock, but his younger brother who is now manning the domestic airship. In early 2024, the two captains were switched and most of the dialogues have been changed, most probably after the release of the Airship Crash Instance quest. The real captain of the international airship is Fairlock, a character from the Ragnarok manhwa. He is distinguishable by the scar just below his left eye. Now we've got to get off this airship and find Captain Fairlock's brother. We head back out and wait until the ship lands in the Juno airport. At the airport, we speak to the service droid for the Schwarzwald Republic domestic airship.
Thank you for choosing Valkyrie Air. Would you like to board the Schwarzwald domestic airship? The ship makes stops at Juno, Hugo, Einbrock, and Lighthalzen.
Yes.
The fare is 1,200 zeni. You can use it for free if you have a free airship ticket. Would you like to board the Schwarzwald domestic airship?
Yeah.
Valkyrie Air appreciates your patronage and we hope you have another peaceful and pleasant trip. Thank you.
This allows us access to the domestic airship that circles the entire Schwarzwald Republic. Guarding the stairs to the main deck is another guide android. He has very similar dialogues as the one on the international flight, with some minor differences. When we enter the main deck, we see the exact same layout, but with more passengers. We've got an airship guard, next to a little boy. There's what looks like a monk sitting in front of a table, someone who looks like she came from Lute, and a group of dancers from Komodo. I guess these are all Rune-Midgarts citizens who'd like to visit the neighboring nation of Schwarzwald. We also see a group of people from the Utan tribe of Umbala, and if we've done the Umbala language quest, we can understand their dialogue. There's an apple merchant called Holtz with a rather silly story about why he became an apple merchant on this airship. We can also find a crewman standing before the entrance to the casino area, although we'll be talking to him in a later quest instead. Much like on the international airship, the same short minigames are available here. Across Casey, the dice game dealer, is a rather corporeal fella. Both Casey and this drunken man are two characters in a later quest we'll be doing as part of the same arc. Heading down to the lower deck, we see the exact same layout as the international airship and, surprisingly, also nobody here. Taking the stairs back up the top deck, we find a fashionable fella talking about the Monster Race Arena in Hugo, and an adventure hinting at the Rachel Sanctuary quest. We then enter the captain's cabin and see another reindeer that looks almost exactly like Captain Fairlock. He even has a cigar in his mouth as well, but without the distinctive scar on his face. A little side note here, this guy is supposed to be Tarlock. Why they didn't change his name from Furlock is sadly not something I have an answer for. The succeeding dialogue is also the exact same as the past version. Maybe they forgot?
Hey there, welcome aboard the airship. I'm Tarlock, your captain on this flight. How can I be of service to you?
How does the airship fly?
I'm sorry, but I can't give you that kind of classified information. It's too important to the security and safety of this airship, you see.
I guess he's not going to budge either. If you choose cancel.
Well, I hope that you enjoy your time here on the airship and that you have a very pleasant journey.
Let's give him his brother's letter.
Oh, this is from my brother? Hey, thanks so much for bringing this to me for him. Give me a minute to read all of this, would you now? So that's what he's been up to, huh? Oh, that's funny. It's always good to hear from Fairlock. Anyway, I'm sorry to make you wait. Anyway, my brother wrote about the usual stuff, but he mentioned that he was hoping to finally return the few things he borrowed from me. However, he lost them. It turns out that those nasty gremlins that sometimes attack his ship stole my things, so he was actually hoping that you would help me get them back. Yeah, he specifically mentioned that I shouldn't give you my reply until you hunt those monsters and get my stuff back. I'm sorry, but I guess you owe Big Bro, huh? Well, if you're willing to help me, will you get my 2 Will of the Darkness and 2 Prickly Fruit back for me? The monsters that attack Verlock's airship should have them. I'd appreciate it if you'd help me out on this adventure. Thanks in advance, and good luck.
This syndicate boss-looking guy across Captain Tarlock is a character from the Criminal Activities quest. Best done after the Rune-Midgarts arc and before the New World arc, this is a fun little standalone quest with the goal of reuniting the members of a musical group that had disbanded and breaking up a criminal syndicate operating in Rune-Midgarts. Unfortunately, many have reported this quest to be extremely buggy. I hope we can cover it in the future. When we talk to the helmsman of this airship, he says, "I love the weather today. It's the perfect weather to pilot an airship. Our captain is famous in Schwarzwald for his distinguished personality. Every crew member respects and obeys him. His older brother is pretty ill-tempered, but our captain admires him so much. I think the older one borrowed something from our captain. He was looking for something urgently." Now comes the part where we have to decide whether to simply farm the item requirements or go through the RL lock base, the waiting portion of the quest. If you choose to collect the items, once you've got the 2 Prickly Fruit and 2 Will of the Darkness, you can skip the waiting part and head back to Tarlock on the same domestic airship. But we're not going to skip anything, so we get off the airship and proceed to board the international flight again. Pray to Odin, or Freya if you're an Rune-Midgart spy, that the attack happens quickly because according to IRO Wiki, it might not even happen for days. Although this could be old information because it only took me roughly 8 minutes of waiting from boarding time before the attack actually commenced. And if you're lucky enough, we get attacked! Unlike in the original version of this quest though, the monsters are not at all aggressive. They probably changed it to prevent lower-leveled adventurers from wasting their 1200 zenies if they end up not making it through the attack. We see Captain Furlock out on the top deck.
I am Furlock, captain of this airship. Those gremlins are troubling me, so don't talk to me unless it's urgent.
Huh? What the... Group of strange creatures are coming this way!
Passengers, unidentified monsters are trying to infiltrate this ship. Please evacuate from the deck to inside immediately.
Captain Furlock! Captain Furlock! The gremlins are going for the propellers!
What? Those filthy little imps? I'll go myself. You brats! Get down from there now!
Whoa! Rear engine number 1 has been damaged! Get the old and the infirm and women to safety first! Hurry!
So you have chosen to ignore me, huh? I will teach you what happens when you do malarkey on my ship. I'll end you with my special-made Exodus Stoker 13th Dome Rifle. Ha ha ha! How do you like that now? What the? How dare those things damage engines even more?
Captain, you're going too rough. You're this close to destroying our engines.
Am I? Well, life and mistakes are inseparable. Take care of the rest, you guys.
You'll have to kill some of the monsters so you can loot the item requirements, 2 Prickly Fruit and 2 Will of the Darkness. According to the IRO Wiki, after 4 minutes, another announcement is made. If you don't clear the monsters by that time, they will die with no loot. If 4 minutes have passed, or if we manage to dispose of all the attackers...
The monsters are gone. We will resume the flight.
1 second, did you notice that we were attacked just after we had left Rachel en route to Islud? That couldn't have been a coincidence. This attack is, of course, connected to the Airship Raid, aka Airship Attack Instance Quest under Heroes Trails 3, where Chaos and the gang also get attacked by these creatures. Now that we've helped fend off an airship attack and have gathered all the items, we board the domestic airship and speak with Captain Tarlock. We hand him over the items we've found from the attackers.
Oh, this is great! Finally, I have my stuff back. Still, I have no idea why Furlock wanted these things to begin with. Oh well, will you please take this reply to Furlock for me? Thanks again for all your help. I don't think I'd ever see these things again if it weren't for you.
You have received Captain Tarlock's letter to deliver to his elder brother, Captain Furlock. It makes me wonder, what exactly does Tarlock want with these items that are lootable from the monsters that attacked his older brother's airship? Let's board the international airship one last time and head straight to Captain Furlock. We give him his brother Tarlock's letter and...
Oh, you really got his reply for me. I didn't expect you to do it, to be honest. Give me a moment to read the letter.
After some time, we ask him, are you finished reading the letter?
Oh, it looks like he's met a fiancé, but a man's gotta have a solitary life. Holy diver, soul survivor, where did that come from?
He's not finished with the letter. I should wait. We give him a couple more seconds and... Are you done with the letter?
I'm finished. You should have realized it as you've met him, but he's very different from me. We fought often when we were young because of our personality differences, but we had nothing to fear when we were together. Well, I'm sure you're not interested in my past. I'll tell you what you wanted to know. To float an airship, you boil water with a large boiler. The pressure from the steam moves pistons, gears, and turbines. Then the propellers get powered by them. Understood?
What? Is that it? I thought there'd be more. We express our disappointment.
I wanted to throw it away with a brief talk, but you don't let me. Yeah, there's more. What I just told you is the basic principle everyone knows. You can't float this heavy ship into the air with steam alone, so we use an amplifier called a rune engine.
Rune engine? What's that?
A device made with magic stone. What was the name? Mimiru? I forgot, but it's not important. You connect an imitation of it to an engine, a steam engine, for example. Then the stone's runic power amplifies the energy. In short, you can say that a tiny little stone is what powers this big ship. It's that powerful. I'm sure you curiosity is satisfied now. I'm gonna take a break. Thank you for the delivery.
And if we bother him again, Captain Furlock, how does an airship operate?
I explained it to you the other time. Don't trouble me for the same thing twice.
I guess this magic stone, whatever it is, must be so powerful to keep this wooden crate afloat. What could it be made of? He mentioned that it is a rune engine, so it must have been created through magic, right? Rune stones are usually made by rune knights who also depend on these stones in order to cast certain skills. But I thought this was a technological marvel. So the airships are powered by magical energy? Or could the rune stone he was talking about be a technological invention, an imitation as he said, that draws energy from this ancient artifact? A more pressing question is, why were we attacked by gremlins and beholders? Knowing where they came from would definitely help us solve this mystery, but that's a journey for another day. For now, let's enjoy our flight, and I'll see you peeps in another video. Let me know your thoughts about this quest in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon to be notified the next time we go live or upload a video. Until next time, take care, good night, and goodbye!